I ask you, are you a millionaire?
I know, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, I ask you, are you a millionaire? Straight up. And now you made that in 4 months.
And now I have a new belief that I make $1 million quarters. This is where I feel like people think they're playing in the arena, but are you really actually stretching yourself? So creating a grid for me is like, I get galactic, I call in my lyrean tribe of elders, my councils of light, I do freaking light language. It was also mixed with courage because I do this in front of people. And here's this crazy witch being like, I'm setting intention for this and calling in my Geronimo council of light. And like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
What changed? What exactly was done differently?
I can't believe I'm about to reveal this.
I have to tell you, you are the first guest that is coming for a second time on the podcast.
I feel honored.
So we are usually taking the virginity of people, you know, coming to do a podcast for the first time.
Take my virginity.
Now you're taking our virginity of being the first time repeated guest.
Oh, I love it. So good.
Yeah,
I'm
so
honored.
smooth.
Thank
You
for
look
having me
gorgeous,
again.
by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you always carry these like sexy boss vibes.
Must
you
be all
know?
the self-concept I do.
Yeah. We're gonna get into all the sex codes and stuff. I know you have something to say about that. But if you're new here, my name is Nelson and I'm the host of the Creative Grid podcast, a space committed to help creative entrepreneurs level in all areas of life. Today, we have an extraordinary individual as guest. She is, like I mentioned before, the second time she has been on the podcast. So if you want to find out the full story, like all the basics, all the fundamentals have been covered on episode 1. What's quantum physics? What's manifestation? Do we live in a simulation? There is a long conversation in there that I will highly encourage you to go listen before listening to this episode, because this one will be very different to where she was. I actually am very interested to get into her because I believe she's a completely different human in such a short period of time. But if you don't know her, she's a business and a manifestation and business coach. Her name is Alex Tripod. Alex, welcome to the Creative Grid podcast for the second time. How are you?
Thank you for having me here. I'm doing spectacular today.
Alex, let's just get into it because we're family now. We have worked together a few times. I've got to know you a bit more in depth.
Yeah.
And I have to say I love you. Honestly, like you're such a cool human being. You're so real. You actually care about the mission that you have. You're super passionate about what you do. And that's why I'm so excited that we're actually in some ways on this journey together now. So I'm very excited to continue this relationship for a very long time. But Alex, let's just address the elephant in the room. First of all, you made $1 million in 4 months. How the fuck did you do that?
Great question. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, the 8-year overnight success. And so like, I feel like everything that I've been doing over the years is just all coming to fruition. And I feel like I've reached that tipping point now where things are just really rapidly scaling. I feel like I'm manifesting now on hyperbolic speed. And, one of the biggest things I'm going to say is, well, actually 2 things that I think I've really upped my game in this year. And that is I'm all about, like we talked about in the last episode, you know, conditioning yourself emotionally, your bulletproof reprogramming system. If you're not saturating your subconscious mind and rewiring and recoding yourself internally every single day, you know, you're going to feel like you're married to doing all the stuff, right? So I went like even more disciplined, even more consistent in the practices that I love doing, but I found ways to like double down in anything mundane in my life, like, you know, getting an Uber here. I usually hate long drives, or like doing the dishes, which I hardly ever do, or like just shit that like maybe, or like going to the supermarket and shopping. It's like, how can I use this time to habit stack and put on top of something and reprogram my mind and like literally project myself into that future. And so I went ham on this, like next level. And then on top of that, I guess I kind of went next level in my courageous action. So I recently just finished an Australian/New Zealand tour. And even though the money was rolling in massively before that, it was kind of just like this momentum, and my soul was just like, boom, it's Australian tour time. And I literally had about 7 days between the idea of it and the landing page and the cities and everything, and like bang. And I truly believe success loves speed. And the less time there is between your soul download or your idea or your intuition or whatever you want to call it and the execution of it, the more rapid success you're going to have. And that's all it was. It's like, oh, I should do 5 cities. No, I should do 6 cities. Now I should do 7 cities. Now let's add on Auckland and Christchurch. And I just kept on listening to my fucking soul and executing so fast. And I feel like the courage mixed with the very rapid execution led to $1 million in 4 months.
That is super impressive. Also because when you came here last time, that I think it was in March or something, so it wasn't that long ago. I asked you, are you a millionaire?
I know, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, I asked you, are you a millionaire? Straight up. And you were like, well, I just recently switched into this new 7-figure timeline kind of thing. But now you made that in 4 months.
And now I have a new belief that I make $1 million quarters. Watch this space, like every quarter.
So what changed? What exactly was done differently in the action part of things? Because you have obviously talked about like the mindset and then like reprogramming yourself and stacking habits. But in terms of action taking, because if some people will be listening to this and I'm like, yeah, okay, but I'm doing all of that. But what exactly did you do different in terms of like marketing or sales or systems? What actually changed for you to be able to do the 7 figures that much faster?
Yeah. And I just want to address the seven figure thing first, because a lot of people, I want to cut the bullshit in the coaching industry, because there's a lot of like, I'm 7 figure. It's like, to be 7 figure, I want it to be in integrity, because it's about making $1 million within a 12-month period. It's not I've made 7 figures in the time I've been in business. That's not 7 figure, right? And so like I was always just underneath. And so when you asked me the question, I was like, I just kind of hit that first within the 12-month period, and then literally within the 4 months, made $1 million. So it was really interesting. But I also feel like beyond like setting the intention, doing the internal work, like this is where I feel like people think they're playing in the arena. Like, yeah, I'm doing the stuff. I'm doing Facebook Lives. I'm doing a masterclass. But are you really actually stretching yourself? Are you actually like in that kind of going to shit my pants zone, like that scary kind of action where you're putting yourself out there? And so many people will be like, oh, it's so easy for you. You're a speaker. But after being in COVID and not really doing live events for so long, I knew that was going to be a stretch again. Right. And so you saw me, but before the Gold Coast, that was my first one. Was I calm? I was like fidgety. I was like thinking, people are just like, it's so easy for you. Like I was in my fucking crap my dack zone. And the fact that I was just like, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm feeling the fear. And I know people need connection and they want in-person events right now. And I think it's just like, the question that I want everyone to ponder on is like, where can I play even bigger in the arena, right? Because we've all got that bigger level. And like for me, I realized like that was my next level. And then after the Australian tour, it's like, okay, great. I'm now a big fishy in a small pond. I've nailed Australia. That's great. It feels so safe to launch a workshop and to sell them out. I know I can do that, but that's no longer stretching me, Nelson. So I can sit on my fucking throne and be a wanker, or I can go, you know what? Now we're doing fucking London, US, fucking all the states in the US, or 5 of them at least, Toronto. That's stretchy for me again. So I am addicted to the stretch. I'm addicted to that feeling of stepping into my courage zone, because I've had that many experiences where I put myself out there, my ego tricks me and tells me that I'm going to fucking die, but I realize on the other side, it's never death and it's always my next level. And that expansion, that fucking energy, that like, holy shit, that's the 2.0 version of you. That's a 3.0 version of you. That's a 10.0 version of you. And that is directly linked with money. Courage equals fucking wealth. That's what I have to say about that.
And I can certify that you certainly are someone that takes courageous, bold action. Because I saw you there. We were filming for you that first event, that first workshop. And I got to see a little bit of yourself getting ready as well for the event. And you were so nervous. You were shitting your pants. And one thing that stood out to me, that I came back and I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I do that, but I don't do it at the level that you did it. I'm like, I need to step up my game with this, almost like self-talk. I think you have a name for it, when you were doing like, you play music and you started like talking to yourself out loud. Did you call it vibe booster? I think it was maybe.
I think it's self-concept, where I'm literally like, could be a vibe booster, but it's all the same. All these tools are basically raising your frequency, right?
Yeah.
But the one I did before the event, I'm going to reveal something here that I wasn't expecting to reveal. So my magic little trick before I get on stage. So I'll usually like self-concept, and sometimes I can be in the mirror and like, you are magnetic, you are incredible, you are so fucking loved, you are seen. So I internally validate myself. I'm not waiting for my audience to be like, oh, that was amazing, Alex. Of course I'm amazing, because you're a reflection of what I've been coding myself for fucking years. Yeah. And I said that openly to my audience. I'm like, I know you guys love me. It's not a fucking surprise, because you are avatars in my movie, right? Yeah. So I'm internally validating myself every single day. And then I can't believe I'm about to reveal this. So a lot of the time I then put pussy juice behind my ears.
Wait, what? What?
So I fuck myself and I put some pussy juice behind my ears, because it's like pheromones and magnetic energy, and I'm on fire every fucking time I do it.
Wait, I'm stunned.
I may have done it on a date last night and she liked it too.
Wait.
It's my superpower.
I'm stunned. Is this actually something that, why does it help you?
I don't know. I learned it from an embodiment coach I used to date. She's like, yeah, PJ. And I'm like, what's PJ? She's like, pussy juice. It's like your natural pheromone perfume. I'm like, all right. And so she's like, try it next time you're on stage. And I tried it, and everyone's like, wow, you were so magnetic. That was the best. And I was like, fucking pussy juice, man. Woo!
This is it. This is the secret recipe.
And that does not mean you bypass stepping into courageous action. No, it's going to be pussy juice behind my ear. Not
pussy juice. That's it. I'm done. I'm cool. We're going to make 7 figures tomorrow.
Everyone's going to be like.
Yeah. Wait. Fucking hell, Alex. Now everyone's gonna be jerking off and just go and be like, things are gonna work out. Take
the shame out of it. Amazing.
That leads perfectly into one of the questions that I have further on, but let's just address it now since we're here.
Yeah.
What, let's say, weird rituals, or what some people will call crazy rituals or tactics or little things you do that have helped you get to where you are, that most people think that is insane. Like this, like the pussy juice. That one's gonna be pretty difficult to fucking work.
I've got a few.
All right, drop it.
So both of them are quite galactic. So on top of all my tools, 2 things that I'm doing like every single day, especially just when I can find like a beach or somewhere in the nature to go to, is I love creating a grid. So what I mean by creating a grid is like an energetic container. It's more than just setting intentions for the day. It's like, how do I explain this? Most of us are unconsciously operating in old paradigms and old grids, meaning playgrounds, because they've been created by people no smarter than us. And we just unconsciously go into the shit marriage grids, the shit entrepreneur grid, the shit money grid, right? Which is like, think of the old entrepreneur grid. It's, I'm going to do all over myself and hustle and take all the action to be fucking happy when I'm dead. So you're chasing the fucking carrot. Where the new way is like, hey, I realize I don't have to sacrifice all these parts of me. I don't have to become a shell of myself. So I'm going to be, do, have. I'm going to become the version of myself that vibrates at this new frequency. I'm going to shift my identity, take action from this new energetic space, and then I'm going to have the stuff. Notice how have is the last thing. It's not the thing that we're focused on, right? Which means there's a rejig of like, we're no longer chasing the carrot. So creating a grid for me is like, I get galactic. I call in my lyrean tribe of elders, my councils of light. I do freaking light language. and then I set my intentions for the day. And the thing is, it was also mixed with courage, because I do this in front of people. And here's this crazy witch being like, I'm setting intention for this and calling in my Geronimo council of light. And like, I don't give a fuck anymore. And this is part of the key again, because I was doing this shit from 8 years ago, not the galactic stuff, but I was like incanting and running down Beach Road. I can, I must, I will, I am. Like screaming where cyclists were almost falling off their fucking bikes, looking at this crazy cave woman. And so many people are still so scared to just do some sort of a primal scream or courage ritual down a park or down a beach, because who's going to see me? Like if you can't even be seen by a stranger, like why do you give a fuck? How are you meant to be seen by hundreds of thousands of people or make a huge impact that you want to, right? So that's one of them. And the other one, I've been doing this crazy thing where I heard the Pleiadian Council of Light, again, we're talking about aliens, I know, one of these beautiful multidimensional species that are here to help us evolve, they said, if you look at your thumbs like this and you spin clockwise by looking at your thumbs at the same time, you spin clockwise 33 times, right? And then after the 33 times, you're a bit dizzy. So then you have to like, oof, and you're like, I do it at the beach. So I look at the horizon. If you do that 33 times and you do that 3 times, so all up 99 spins, if you do that every day, you'll be vibrating in the 5th dimension in no time. And every time I do that on the days, I have like a super flow state. It's like so stupid. I don't question it, but I just do it. And for some reason, like
So you're doing this every day
I'm
now?
doing this pretty much every day.
Where do you do it?
Down at the moment at Surfers Paradise Beach. So people will see me spin.
Spinning, that's what I mean. Like,
and I'll do 33 times and I'll go, ah! And then I'll like get less dizzy. And then I'll do another 33. And people just watch me.
So how many rounds do you do?
So I'll do 3 rounds. So 99 spins all up. Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I mean, I'm manifesting in hyperbolic speed lately, so there's got to be something to it.
Okay, so it has something to do with it.
Something to do with it.
Yeah. So how do you discern then onto, because I think from what I've seen, like you try a lot of different things, right? When do you discern if
what
something,
works, what doesn't?
Exactly.
It's interesting because what the tools I still use now and what I teach in Manifestation University, it's called my bulletproof reprogramming system, are the same tools that I used 8 years ago. They're just been refined and tweaked, right? So to answer that, like really is how do I know? It's because in a 2-year period I had in my business where I wasn't doing them and I was told, you know, you're trying to control, let go of control, you're trying to use mindset tools, And I was told not to meditate, not to magical script, not to do all these things. I'm telling you right now, my life went to fucking shit. My money buffer went down, my finances went down, clients stopped flowing, my relationship was tumultuous. I felt not in my power. I sacked on 10 kilos. I went into inner child wounding. It was like a really tough time in my period in my business. No one would have seen it online. And and then I went out of, some things happened and got out of the relationship, went back to my truth and my stuff. All of a sudden, 200K launch, dropped 8 kilos, attracted a new lover, and like within 8 weeks, right? And so these are the tools that hand on heart I know works, because if you are saturating your internal world every single day, quantum physics will tell us it takes anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks for the metaphysical and the physical to start matching. But the reality is most of us feel good and then 2 weeks passes or a month passes and goes, where's all my stuff and the things? So if you can hold out for 6 to 8 weeks and be consistent, you're gonna see fucking shifts in your mirror. And I've seen it for myself over and over and over and over, like without fail, Nelson, and also for my clients. Like even on today's call at Manifestation University, one of the clients was like, and I've just doubled my income. And I'm like, hey, hold on. It was like 50 people on the call. How long have you been doing this for consistently? She goes, I'm on the 6-week mark. And so I'm like, let this be living proof. And every time a client starts seeing huge changes, just around the 6 to 7 week mark. Yes. So I stand by it because I've experienced it so many times and now my clients are experiencing it.
Sick. Tell me something. From doing the workshops, you don't really make money. You actually lose money doing the workshops.
Yeah.
Can you explain? Because I think it's super interesting for people that maybe don't see this side of the things or don't see how you make money out of them. Because like even someone from my team asked me like, wait, but how? Because because this room will cost how much?
Right.
2K.
No, the ticket sales do not make me the $1 million.
Exactly. So, because you were selling those tickets for $50 or whatever. Can you like explain in terms of like profit, expenses, how did everything distribute?
Yeah. So this is why I'm also like such an advocate for light leaders, star seeds, heart-centered entrepreneurs. Like we have an ethical obligation to get banked and to actually look at like, do I have a healthy money buffer? Because when we are relying on clients to pay us to then do things, or we have got a depleted money buffer, we've got like $2,000, $1,000, $10,000, we don't have much to play with. We're not able to honor when soul says, hey, da-da-da-da-da, hey, run a retreat, hey, write that book, right? Oh, I'll wait when I have the funds, right? And so for me, when Soul was like Australian tour time, I knew like between the all the event spaces, my business class flights, my 5-star accommodation, then also crew. Natalie I had to pay for her flights, her accommodation. I think I probably spent around maybe $30,000 to $35,000 on everything. So that in itself was an expense. And so I knew that all really I had to focus on was if there was at least 10%, which is such a low percentage, even if it was 10%, like so conservative, 10% of people that converted into paying clients in each workshop, that was going to minimum make me 300K, right? So, or maybe 200K. So I was like, am I willing to put a $30,000 risk for an almost guaranteed $200,000 worst case scenario. So I ended up making $540,000 from the cities with a 30K spent. So I made $510,000 profit. So it was like run the workshop, very low ticket, get people in the room because it's not your money that I care about. It's your time that you are giving me to be in the room on this Saturday and Sunday for me to share wisdom with you, but then also warm you up and come into my world. And at the end, I did a soft call to action. Full transparency, towards the end of the tour, they got a bit harder and harder. I'm like, fuck this shit. These people need to step the fuck up because they think a $55 investment in themselves and investing in yourself. You're fucking dreaming. Like, stop thinking a 4-hour workshop is going to change your life. Oh, yeah, I've got everything I need. No, you fucking don't.
No, you don't.
Like, right? Full respect to those that are investing in themselves, but for those that think that that's investing, it's not. And so I went a little bit harder, really calling out people on their shit. And then my conversion rate got higher and higher and higher. And I was like up to about almost 50 to 60% of people doing an application form towards the end. So how I made the money was I was selling 2 different offerings. One was my $10,000 Manifestation University program and my other one was my 33K mastermind. And boom shakalaka. Just needed to be like 4 or 5 ideal clients in the room. You know? That's it.
Another thing that I asked you off camera and I thought that was a super interesting answer. I asked you, okay, so how do you choose the cities that you go to? How do you know where to go? Because now you're thinking of going to the States. And I asked you like, wait, but how do you know where to go that you're going to be able to sell tickets and stuff?
Fuck, what did I say?
You don't remember. So how do you do it? How do you choose where to go?
It's just like, I just get the idea. I don't know.
Yeah, basically what you told me was like, like I just have a gut feeling almost.
Yeah, gut feeling, yeah.
So is that true?
Well, for me, it's true because I've recently discovered my human design is manifesting generator and we act really well on gut. So like for me, I make decisions on gut. And even like the relationship that just ended, in my gut, I knew it was over for a while. But then I went in my head and I tried to logic over it. But my gut fucking knew, right? But we got 3 brains. The first brain is your gut. So I make decisions based on gut. Like I can call it soul download, but it's probably gut download too. Like the US tour, is that like my soul? Or is that just like, what's that thing that goes, boom, it's US tour time. That's my fucking gut. Does that make sense?
So like, but did you just grab the map and you were like, yeah, US, that makes total sense. Which cities? Yeah, Cali, and maybe like, did you just go like that?
It was more like,
or do you look like
I make decisions really fast. I don't like and I think this is another big key to success. Like there's no right decision, there's no wrong decision. The wrong decision is sitting on it for weeks and months and years. That's the wrong fucking decision, because you sit in analysis paralysis, and that's just delaying your dreams. And then you sit there talking about what you're going to do one day, someday, and you're sitting in fucking significance and building connection with people, talking about what you're going to do. Fucking stop talking about what you're going to do and just fucking do it. Right? So for me, it was like US. I was like, yep, US, it feels stretchy. I've only ever run one workshop in LA before. That was 5 years ago. And filling that room felt like pushing shit uphill. So I know this is going to be a stretch. Great. I've also like, I don't really know what my following is like there. So it's new territory. And so like, remember, I'm addicted to, I didn't know I was, but I think I'm addicted to the, I don't even know what to call the energy. It's like, it's the high and the electricity and the feeling of like stretching yourself in that unknown territory and then coming out the other side knowing that you're going to have an identity shift. And because I've linked the unknown and courage with more wealth and money, it's like, it's so much fun, right? And so that's how I chose the US. And then it's like, and then I just sat down with someone. I'm like, so what stage? She's like, oh, this. I was like, cool, awesome. And then I ended up, like, people were like, what about Canada? And they've inboxed me, so that was a logical idea. So I've added it to Toronto. And then I was on my coaching call 2 days ago. I'm like, hey, babe, should I do London? Because there was someone on the call and she's like talking like Pommy and la la la. I was like, London. I was like, hey, should I do London? And my coach is like, yep. I just got a gut feel it's a London too. I'm like, all right, add that to it too. So
wait,
I'm a fucking crazy bitch.
You have a coach then as well that is telling you like, hey, yeah, that's a good idea.
I was like, I just got to download. I should do London. She's like, yep. Go. So I purposely invested with her because I know she'll push me. Like, I like to work with coaches that see me but don't blow smoke up my ass, and they just be like, yeah, but you're here. Yeah, but you're a fucking billionaire. Yeah, but you're playing small. Yeah, but up your prices. Yeah, but do this. Right?
Yeah.
So like all my coaches do that, and it's a little bit overwhelming, but it's what allows me to continue growing instead of being like, I've made it.
Yeah. So why are you not chilling? You made your 7 figures, you know, like how much of this is profit, by the way? Of the 7 figures?
90%.
Why not chill? Like, tell me, because you could piece off. You could go to Bali and probably live on a 5-star villa forever. Or come here, live on the studio. I already told you, like, why not do that? Why to continue to pursue this stretch and the unknown and everything, the transformation?
So, of course, I fucking love money and I love luxury and I love creating the most ultimate human holographic experience ever. And I do believe we get to be in divine service and spiritual while being rich and banked and having an amazing experience. But it's more than just money for me. For me, like, I truly believe that I am here to raise the vibration of humanity on a global scale. And I've got a big fucking mission, like big mission to help awaken, I'm going to say, over 1 billion people in my lifetime and activate them. And not just awaken like people that are in the matrix, but awaken people that are already doing the work and activate the fucking lion in them so they can stand with me, so we can collapse this paradigm that clearly is not working anymore and start energetically coming together and creating different communities and creating the new earth, whether it's emotionally, mentally, vibrationally, physically, infrastructure, whatever you want to believe. If you're logical, we need to create the new earth. And I'm here as a 5D earth light leader, here to create the new earth. And it's a big responsibility, but I'm taking it on, and part of the responsibility isn't, oh, I've made bank, fuck you, humanity. Made it now, thanks to all your money, humanity.
Peace out.
Peace out. Right? I'm like, thank you for all the money and trust in me. I'm going to serve you in my programs, and now I'm going to use this money to do more shit. Like, I'm going to do a charity event in Gold Coast in January, and I'm going to pack it with 1,000 people. Like, and it's going to be free. Like, this is the kind of shit I'm going to do. It's going to cost me $40,000. So $40,000 with no return, but I know the goodwill will get me return. It's about creating goodwill in the marketplace too, and knowing it's going to come back to you tenfold.
Yeah, nice. I like that. Sex codes. I want to talk about sex codes because you
we
said
already
something
have, man.
recently.
We already have.
Let's keep adding
By
to
the
it.
way, I didn't put PJ behind my ears for this interview.
I know you did. Come on, I know you did. Don't tell me.
Why do
you
you think I
didn't.
was going to the toilet before? I'm joking. I'm joking.
Just before the podcast, so it's fresh. I knew something changed.
What do you want to
in
know
it.
about my sex codes?
Sex
Nelson?
codes.
Yeah.
Tell me, you came with a claim recently on Instagram stories, right?
Yeah.
And I think you even did a poll or something asking the audience to see if they believed it was true. And I believe from what I saw from memory, it was true. It was
85% of people feel my sex codes and have been activated on some level.
Yeah.
And I'd say 30 to 40% of women in my containers become curious, bi or lesbian.
How does this happen? Why?
Well, my belief is it's that I have done so much work to clear any shame that I have around being a lesbian. And my Greek family, my coming out story was a shemozzle. It was not good. And I've done so much work to clear any shame that I so unapologetically own my sexuality, and it feels so light for me. And my ability to own my sexuality, it's not that it's really sex codes, it's actually unapologetic self-expression codes. And when people come into my container or they watch my content, I'm so fully unapologetically, authentically expressed in every single area of my life, from let's get banged to fucking I'm a lesbian to my marketing's wild, right? Just watch what Nelson did for me in my latest challenge with pumping money on the floor and all sorts of wild shit that.
Wait till you see this out. It's coming out so well.
And so I think that I give permission to people that have potentially dormant, suppressed desires within themselves that they didn't feel safe to go and explore. And now here I am, a living, breathing example, giving them permission and also having them say hey, it's safe. And also it's the key to your success. And so many of us have this dormant, suppressed self-expression and sexual desires and all these things, not knowing that this is actually going to ripple into your relationships, your communication, your marketing, and of course your finances and your business and your unique selling point. I truly believe that being gay is one of my unique selling points. It's not because I'm gay, because I own it so fearlessly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Have you had sex with a client?
My ex-girlfriend was a client.
Is that breaking some ethics or anything?
So yes, and she came and did a teach piece at my live event, and there was a wild connection. And then things just whoa, what is this? And it was like a soul connection we couldn't deny. And so where I feel okay is I, number one, took her out of the program immediately as soon as we hooked up. And there was no more payments made to me. Let's just clear this. And number two, I went in the group and I really wanted to cultivate safety with everyone, to tell them about me and Lauren getting together before they heard it on the public and got freaked out, because she was also a client in the container. So I did my due diligence.
Yeah, right.
And
Look at you. How
apart from that,
responsible,
I don't fuck my clients. I went into Soul Connection. I fuck my clients.
Do you get often clients that maybe they just sign on into your programs just because they want to get close to you or
I don't
something?
know.
It hasn't happened? Someone tried to take you on dates or something like that?
I think that maybe clients have thought about me in that way, and I've definitely had clients say they've had sexual dreams about me and stuff, but I think there's so much respect that it doesn't, even though I'm very sexually self-expressed, I have clean sexual energy. I used to not. I used to have leaky sexual energy because I was so deprived of sex in my relationship that I wanted to get attention from others. So it was I just wanted men, woman, anyone to want me. It was my inner child wounds, validate me, desire me, right? And this version of me, even though I'm very sexually expressed and comfortable, I've been told I've got very good sexual hygiene.
Sexual hygiene.
And not meaning in the bedroom energetic sexual hygiene.
Does that mean someone that is too thirsty for it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, thirsty, needy, clingy, how do I put it, like sleazy, like, you know, I get inbox all the time. I had a dream about you, how do this, and I keep it light. I'm just like, oh yeah, tell me more. I'm just like, awesome, babe. Like, you know, I don't make them feel shame that they've had the courage to tell me that they've had a sex dream about me. That's the last thing I want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, it's kind of fun, this hologram that I've created for
bet you're
myself.
playing a little bit in there. We cowboy here and
fun.
there, right?
It's fun. This hologram's fun.
What do you do with your money?
Good question. So I do have a crypto portfolio. It's just sitting there. That's great. At the moment, I'm just stacking up the cash and I'm real banked. And so I'm getting to the point where it's like a lot of money to have in a bank account. And so
How much is too much?
I can't say that. Use your imagination. And I'm just in the works of, how do I put this? Looking at what I need to do to buy an apartment in Gold Coast. So then I can rent it out and have an Airbnb income stream. So the goal is by the end of the year, buying an apartment with cash outright. And
Straight up, yeah.
Straight up. Might need a little bit of help from a low doc loan. Depends if I go for like 1.2 or if I go 1.8. But my aim is by the end of the year to put all that cash into property. And then like if I'm making, you know, $1 million quarters or eventually $10 million years, which I know is going to happen in the next couple of years, I want to have like where I'm buying like 2 or 3 properties a year just with cash. Bang, 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 bang. So I'll put it into property, to be honest.
So are you like having a retirement plan almost in place? Like having a bunch of properties?
I'll be in the fifth dimension. I don't need a retirement plan. And I'm out of the system, Nelson. Government can't fucking pay me because I'm out of the system. Every dollar I earn is tax-free now. I'm set up as a charity.
Explain that.
I can't.
Explain that. You cannot drop that bomb, but not explain it. How is every dollar you earn tax free?
So I've set myself up, like some people would have heard it as like foundations. This is a bit different, but basically we've proved to the bank that what I do is for humanity. And the way I framed it to the bank understands is that I'm not a business. I'm actually here to help people with their emotional well-being and mental health. And the tools that I use actually works, and it's taking pressure off like the government systems, like psychologists, counselors, and all this stuff that's actually not really working for people and having people loop. And so because of this, and part of the thing was like I had to believe that I'm actually a charity. I'm like, how am I not doing God's work? Of course I'm doing God's work. Of course I'm doing charity work. I've just been conditioned in the matrix to think I have a business. But actually I know that if I'm raising the vibration of humanity and that's my soul's mission, why is Red Cross any more of a charity than me? Why are they doing better work than me? Who said? That's just a fucking belief system.
Yes.
So my belief system is now I'm a fucking charity for humanity, and of course I'm going to get rewarded abundantly for it. Some of it's going to be used for my lifestyle. Some of it I'm going to use to keep doing humanitarian projects.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I am a humanitarian. I just feel like I've just started because, you know, we get to a point where, okay, now I'm really financially taken care of. And I know the more and more banked I get, the more I'm going to want to like collaborate with others and do massive things and drop 100K there and do 200K there and do a project in Africa and like do all these things.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And the more money you make, that's just a direct correlation of how much impact you have in the world as well. The people that have the biggest impact, they make the most money. That's it. Because the reality is that you do need money to help a lot of people and probably to even change the course of the life of a lot of people. How long did it take you to jump into this system? Because it sounds like not many people.
Over?
Yeah, not many people are doing this. Why are not many people using a system like this?
It's not cheap to set up.
How much does it cost?
It's not like too bad. It's like 10K. It's like, but not everyone has a spare $10,000 lying around. And if they do, they'd rather spend it on the next thing for their business. And I mean, it's kind of known, but it's not like that well known, if that makes sense. That's probably the only two reasons. And what my spiritual accountant explained to me was that there's a process. So like if you're not willing to step out out of the system and fully be sovereign. It's like a spiritual journey too. Also, a lot of people probably don't want to do it because once you're out of the system, you can't borrow from the banks. So I can't borrow, I can't borrow $2 million from the bank tomorrow if I wanted to because I'm out of the system. So that's why I have to pay for apartments in cash or get out a low doc loan for help. There are ways around it, but I'd rather have every cent I earn tax-free.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so is that like the biggest drawback in a sense?
Yeah,
or?
you can also do hybrid. So you can do hybrid, meaning you can stay partly in and stay partly out. I think eventually all people with big missions will migrate to this. Yeah, it's an interesting fucking process.
Does this works for even a business like mine?
Yep. But you have to prove that you're like, it's for like humanity and you're helping.
Alex, I'm working with you.
I know.
I'm helping you help humanity.
I know.
So by extension, I am a humanitarian as well.
I know you are, mate. You're getting my message out there. You're like the messenger.
Yeah,
I'm the messenger.
The
Hello,
messenger.
I am the messenger of the fifth dimensional communication frequency that needs to be transmitted through these human beings. We just provide the equipment and the environment for them to do this.
Oh my God, you just put it perfectly. Next time someone asks me, what do? I'm a messenger.
I'm a messenger.
Of the fifth dimension, of course. not this one. That was beautifully placed. I love that. Alex.
Yes, Nelson.
What is...
I love you.
I love you too. Fuck, I'm enjoying this one so much. What's the next step right now? And I also want to understand as well, and I'm talking business, like in terms of your business, to get to those $1 million quarters, what needs to change for you to get there? And right now, like paint a bit of a more clear picture of like, how many people are you working with? Like, how much are your monthly expenses? Like, paint a picture for everyone.
Yeah. So, monthly expenses are pretty low. I have 4 coaches that cost me about $15,000 a month, which
all
is
combined.
All combined. And
that's so cheap.
I know, right?
That's what costs me one.
And then they're all like on payment plans. And then, and you're probably thinking, why don't I pay in full? Because I fucking love having money in my bank account. So I'd rather pay interest and just like pay them. Yeah. And then my biggest expenses are my lifestyle choices. So like, you know, I'm staying at Pepper Soul. So that's like, you know, $4,000 a week. I fly business class everywhere, right? So travel and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of my next level, so for example, so the next 2 big things I'll just talk about. So I've got a launch coming up called $1 Million You. It's a free experience. I'm a launch fucking master. So I usually get thousands of people into this free experience. It's an irresistible offer. So I'm really good at this. This is my fucking jam. And so I'm aiming to get about 4,000 people in this group. Out of 4,000 people, let's like think of a really, really, really low conversion rate. What, fucking 2%? What's that? Like, I don't know. Is it 40 people? I don't even know. I got a salesperson that'll be taking freaking 10 to 20 calls a week. So that in itself has the potential to make me $500,000 next month. Easy. Okay. If I seed properly, if I go in there, if I add value, if I really warm them up, if I like really like speak to them and have them like, call into action to my programs. Then my US tour, I'm doing 6 states now in 4 weeks. So let's say I fill out the rooms of 30 to 40 people. Again, if there's 5 to 10 people in each city that say yes, let's say that 70% of them go into Manifestation University, which is now going to be, I'm changing all my prices to USD, so it'll be 10K USD. Or they might want to come into my millionaire mastermind, which is 33K USD, and doing the calculations, like easily could make $1 million on this tour, easy. So projections are potentially I'll end up around 2.5 to 3 million this year. And then scaling and growing, I have to look at like creating different offers. So I'm going to create something called the Inner Circle, and that might be like 100K to work with me for the year. And there's only like 4 of us 7-figure people where we travel the world so just looking at what's missing. And then I'll probably have to look at like, okay, if I'm about to write my book and that's going to go global, I'm going to be published by Hay House. What do I have for people that just want to come in but can't afford $10,000? What's a lower end offering? So this is where I need to look at all my mini courses that are priced at like $297 or $500 or $100. that hundreds of thousands of people can buy and I have nothing to do with it. It's just automatic, here's your logins, bang. Because that can literally make me like 10, 20, 30, 50, 100K weeks. Does that make sense? Especially when I'm launching, if I'm selling from stage, if I'm speaking next to Dr. Joe Dispenza in a couple of years and they let me pitch on stage, bang, I have the opportunity to make huge amounts every single stage talk. So that's how I scale and grow, visibility, and continue to be fucking courageous.
Yes. In terms of team members, what do you need to add right now? And how many, you mentioned you have a salesperson.
Yep.
You have your coaches, but
Yep.
who is that? Do you have VAs? What else do you have?
We've got 3 VAs. So one takes care of like admin, client contracts, client onboarding, all that kind of stuff. The other one takes care of like swipe files, graphic designs, logos, landing pages, any ideas that I have. Hey, do this, yeah. And the other one that I just brought on, I've only got her for like 5 hours a week, and she's like creating epic fucking reels just to make sure I've got stuff to post. So that feels good. And then I've got, salesperson. And then I wouldn't even say that you're my team, but then you're my video guy, right? Yeah. So I don't really have a big team, and I don't believe as a 7-figure or even multi-7-figure business that you have to have a big team. That's actually just another old paradigm. I could think of nothing worse than being like, Gary Vee or Kerwin Ray walking into a fucking big office and having like you've just created another jail for yourself. And they might love that, but for me, I would hate to think that I have to go into an office and see all these salespeople and all these admin people and all these marketing people. Like, I don't want to have meetings. I don't want, I love my time freedom. Like my calendar most weeks is like 2 coaching calls a week and that's it. Like I have like hardly any deliverables. It's fucking great the way I've set my business up.
That I think is like one of the most impressive things of your business model. And since meeting you and learning about all the back end, how much time do you have?
Time freedom.
So what else are you doing? Obviously, you have mentioned in the previous episode, like, your morning routine and all this stuff. But
what do I do with my time?
What do you do exactly?
I just love a lot of things. So I love content creating. So like, and a good reel can sometimes take up to a fucking hour. You have this idea and then it just like hijacks your day. But I love having the spaciousness to do that. And then just like, I don't know, like, go to the beach, get a coffee, fucking, like I just relax a lot. I relax a lot, do a lot of relaxing. And then I also like do a lot of creating. So when I say I don't work, I'm working on ideas. I'm working on content. I'm working on channeling incredible posts. I'm working on like, hey team, we need to create this landing page. So I'm still working, but because it's creative and it's like pouring my hearts into like new epic programs and things that we're doing, or this retreat I'm running, or this thing I've got to organize, it doesn't feel like work. It feels exciting. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it's almost like you live in CEO day. If it sounds something
every
like
day.
that. But because you have so much time for you to think of the big picture and visualize where you're going and kind of how you're going to do it without having also the stress of financial stress or anything like that, you're able to step up into your genius and actually come up with the right things that will move the needle. That's what I kind of sense.
There's a lot of spaciousness, and with spaciousness allows for creativity to flow, right? Because it's the abundant frequency. Time freedom is abundant frequency. What's the point in having all this money when you've got no time to enjoy it?
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, like there is a part of me that's like, fuck, like I've just finished the Australian tour literally 6 weeks ago, and here I am, another 6 cities in 4 weeks. I don't know if it's going to feel like pushing shit uphill trying to sell tickets. The US market's different. Like, do I really want to go to London and then and Canada? And, there is a part of me that there's seasons. So as much as I have a lot of time freedom and I could be like, fuck, I could go to Greek Islands now and do nothing. You're right. Exactly. Like I could. But I also know that like I'm in a really growth momentum and there's a season right now, and I'd be an idiot to not continue to ride the momentum.
Absolutely. Yeah. Momentum is probably the most powerful energy in the world. Once you have it, you have to just keep it up and keep building it, right?
And health, man. Health is wealth. So I've been upping my game, like gym routine and like making sure like I'm preparing meals or eating clean, and like I really want to up my game in terms of like biohacking my body and like saunas, cold plunge pools and doing stuff like that, especially leading up to the events, because there's nothing worse than not feeling good in my body on stage. Like I feel it, especially when I'm doing back-to-back stuff.
What were you doing to be able to keep up your energy right and also heal for each event? Because I remember I filmed the first one, right? And then you had like back-to-back events. And I remember being on a call with you and your voice was gone. I'm like, how the fuck is she gonna pull this off? And you did, all of them. So what were you doing along the way to make sure like you were on point each day?
Not talking in between. The biggest things was, I had literally like a chemist that I was carrying with me, like sprays and this and that and all the physical stuff. But it was also resting my voice in between. And I think the biggest thing was like, as woo-woo as this sounds, there was some upgrades that my throat chakra needed. It was like the message was too potent and my human, like it doesn't really happen anymore because there's been an upgrade, but I think it was more of an energetic mismatch that was happening more than like I got sick, because I wasn't actually sick. It was like something was happening with my, And then I also got vocal coaching. So like I do vocal warm-ups beforehand.
Okay.
Like I think one morning I hardly had any voice, and she was like getting me to do this crazy exercise. She's like, make noises like a puppy, like, and I'm like in the morning, like I could hardly do it, but it fucking helps so much. So I've got that. And when I do that consistently, it really helps. But I do get a bit sloppy with that shit.
I love the honesty.
Like my voice will just fine. It'll be fine. Hey, Galactic Tate, can you fix this shit?
Quickly,
yeah. And of course, getting fucked up and drinking alcohol, I'm joking.
Nah, you give yourself a
I have a couple of drinks here and there.
You did have a margarita with us, and the last time I had a pina colada.
People often ask me, do you drink? Like, yeah, I have a beer here and there and a glass of wine here and there. And I just haven't felt, some people are like, oh, that's spirits, oh, that's low vibration. And I'm like, yeah, or is it the frequency that you're drinking it in? Isn't it like anything else? And like, I know plenty of incredible leaders that drink, and I also know that there's different opinions to it. And like when I'm vibrating at such a high frequency in the fifth dimension, will I feel the need to drink? No, but am I in the fucking fifth dimension right now? No, I'm having a human experience. And while I'm having a human experience, I'm going to eat meat, I'm going to drink the occasional glass of wine, and that doesn't make me any less spiritual. And if you disagree, I love you, and let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I think like I rarely drink personally.
Yeah.
The last time I had a drink was with you, that pina colada. And before that, I can't even remember when it was. Like I forget.
Yeah, but because you love being on point and probably waking up fresh as fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why would I?
Yeah. Because the way I see it is like a tool to enjoy right now. Yeah, we're celebrating. We had an awesome shoot, like we're with this awesome human that we love so much. Yeah, why not? Yeah. But other than that, like I've been there abusing it, when I was younger, and I saw where it led, and I see what it has led to my friends or past life friends, like where they are now because they keep abusing it and how they use it to escape reality. And whereas for me, I love my reality so much. I'm like, why do I need to escape it? My reality is a drug already. Like I love it, everything I'm doing, that I'm building, and the impact that I'm having and the future that is coming. I don't want to detach from that. Like I might have one every now and then to celebrate with my friends. And guess what? It also tastes better. That pina colada tasted like fucking heaven. Totally. Because I don't have it very often, so it's like, oh yeah, this tastes good.
Yeah.
But I know how to say no to it. Totally. You have to be in control. Not only with alcohol, I think with everything, right? Except passion. Don't be in control of passion. Let that shit get out of control,
You let that out in your marketing and the bedroom.
Yes, that's it. Tell me something.
Yes.
What's the most expensive thing you have bought for absolute pleasure that you absolutely didn't need it?
That's a really good question. I don't know. What didn't I need? I needed my video equipment. I've never thought about this because I've definitely bought more expensive things in like this $900 Gucci belt or like my $2,000 Louis Vuitton shoes. There's definitely more expensive shit, but I don't know what. Would like a penthouse just because shits and gigs go into that category.
I guess, yeah.
Right, yeah. I just wanted to get a penthouse and fuck shit up for 2 nights in a row with my missus. And I was like, all right, sweet. That's what I'm going to do just because I can. It's my fucking birthday.
How much did it cost?
I think it was like $3,000 a night or something. I don't know. But I'm sure there's been more expensive. I just can't think of anything.
What about cars? Do you have cars?
Oh, yeah, I've got a car. I've got a Range Rover.
What year? What do you have this car? I've never seen
I
it.
know.
Like you're always with chauffeurs, Uber, shit.
It's in the car parking spot in the fucking dungeon in my Wollongong apartment. Not seeing the day of light. The poor little baby.
Like the thing is not going to start when you go.
Range Rover Evoque. She's so sexy. Yeah. I love her.
Yeah. So when you come back, it's not going to start.
Probably. But I need it to because I'm going to road trip back to Melbourne.
Yeah. So you mentioned.
I'm going to fly probably first class to Europe though. So that'll be about $30,000.
That's going to be sick.
It's going to be my first flight, first class.
You have to document the shit out of that.
Will, you know
are you even? It's a flight, right?
Yeah.
Most people will be like, why?
Right.
Why would you do that?
Right.
And are you even scared of seeing 30K just go into a plane ticket?
I mean, I'm going to do my research. If there's not a huge difference between business class and first class, I would rather spend $10,000 on business class than like 20, 30 on first. Because again, my priority is to buy an apartment outright by the end of the year, and like 30K is a good chunk, like that could go towards it. So I get that for like a 22-hour flight. Like, why am I spending that money? And abundance doesn't mean like abundance also means like being responsible with your money, right? And part of it is because I'm going to reframe that. I have had a fear of flying in the past. I've gotten better at it. And so with long flights, especially in the dark or going overseas, like this is why I've traveled business class, even if it's just like Gold Coast to Sydney, because my theory is if I'm going down with a champagne in my hands in the front of the plane, at least I fucking die in style and I'm happy. So I'm literally booking these flights because I'm scared that I'm going to die in a fucking plane crash, and I want to die in style.
Yeah. I was thinking that
I don't want to be dying with the plebs in the fucking economy.
with economy, everyone losing their shit. Yeah, just being like the kids screaming, all the shit. You're chilling.
Champagne, fucking bottle, bitch.
We're heading down, but at least chilling. But I thought like a reason for that, maybe I'm completely wrong, but I thought like you were putting yourself in a space where you could connect with more people like you as well.
I did, yeah. The mastermind that I'm in currently. I don't know how many millionaires there are in it. I know there's a couple. I'm meeting like 40 women in Italy in August, so I don't know.
Oh, sick.
Gonna spread my sex codes too and see what happens.
So they're nodding here. You don't know any of them.
I don't know any of them. They're from all over the world. So that'll be really cool to connect with other high-level women that are coaches. And also like my plan is to potentially share some wisdom on their platform so they can help me fill out these workshops.
Yes.
Because there's like people in America, people in UK. So it's like, fuck, like I need a network, you know?
Yes.
I have to stop being like a big fishy in a small pond.
Yes.
Like I've been the big fishy in a small pond for a while.
Yes.
You know, like
we need to put you on the
in
big
Australia.
stage.
Yay, awesome, great. Now let's go where I feel like a nobody, because I promise you I'm going to walk around in fucking New York and feel like a nobody, and that's what I need right now.
Yes. I like that. I like that challenge. Have you had a student that has surpassed you?
Not yet.
How far are they and why?
I mean, I've had a student that's made more than me within a month period, like 250K month. That was awesome. But in terms of their annual income and visibility and what they're doing, no. But I definitely think I'm going to have some mastermind clients that are going to surpass me, or at least stand with me equally.
Yes.
Yeah.
How exciting is that? Because cool. The way I think about it, even I've been coaching someone from my team, for a year now. And the more I see him progress, the more proud I feel, the more I feel like, fuck yeah, like this is awesome. Yeah. And I can't wait for him to actually be better at me at the tools and all these, even the creative aspect of things, right? Because then I know I've done my work right, where the student surpasses the master.
Yeah, my new thing is now like really calling in people that are already at 7-figure and they like, so for example, my mastermind, there's a lot of 7-figure incredible women coaches that feel lonely in their journey and they're craving community. And so like, yes, they're going to learn awesome shit of the retreats, but it's about connecting to this like fucking network. And that's what I'm building, an incredible network of powerhouse women, like changing the world. And so like my thing is like, and even one of my private clients, he's making 7 figures passively. And so like my thing is like
Passively, nice.
Passively, yeah, doesn't have to do anything. And now he's wanting to get in the coaching space. He's like, can you help me fill out workshops and fill out my retreat? I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it. And that's cool. And it was like I'm like, okay, do I feel worthy? You know, do I actually feel worthy of working with people that are already at 7 figures and multi-7 figures? And it's less about like, who cares if I call someone in that's making more than me? Like, I think I'd even feel worthy of someone that was making 10 million now, because potentially they still need my manifestation codes and tools and things that is going to take them to the next level with more ease and grace and flow and time freedom. Yes. So it's less about the money for me, more about the energetics and the coding, what happens in the container.
That's it.
Yeah.
What would you tell yourself to get to where you are? Because it has changed so much in the past like few months. So now you obviously have new codes and new information of how to get to where you are faster.
Yeah.
What would you tell now yourself that it will be differently? Yes.
I would have said
exclusively to make 7 figures. You know, running. I'll have a life with so much freedom like the one you have right now.
I would have said, stop being a little pussy. And it's time to start doing live events again, because that's how you exploded your business 7 years ago. And it's time to re-explode your business because the people are craving connection. And I would actually say to her, continue to reprogram your mind around money to continue to bust your financial thermostat. Because the thing is, for so long, I think I didn't take big, bold action because I was so comfortable with the hundreds of thousands of dollars in my bank account that I didn't need anymore. So I would unconsciously find ways to, it's almost like my body didn't feel comfortable or I didn't need more, but is this making sense? And so like the more I program my mind that I feel safe and worthy to hold even more amounts of money, the more that linked to ideas to do more, to how to get it. So it's a 2-part thing. It's like step the fuck up, you little bitch. And also go ham on reprogramming your mind, because you can hold a fucking $1 million cash in your bank account and reprogram your mind to feel fucking safe and worthy to hold that amount in your bank account.
Yeah. So from what I'm understanding is like, obviously, getting to the place where you think, yes, okay, I can hold, let's say, $1 million. And then from there, once you get it, it's like, okay, I can hold $10 million. So you have to, it almost equalize. It's like going down as a diver, right? They need to be equalizing as they go down. So it's almost doing the same for the money figure.
Yeah, it's like at every level, there's another devil.
Yes.
Like, okay, cool. I've now made, $2 million. What's my next step? What are the bucks here? What's coming up for me at this level?
Yeah.
So it's a constant process. But I will say 8 years in, like, I don't want to be that winker and say like life is so easy. And I do feel like you get to a level where when you're doing the work consistently, it does get to a point where it feels a lot more in flow and easy. I don't really have clunks in my life anymore, or launch failures or anything like, and I think there's 2 parts to that. Number one, I know how to hold myself that even if something bad happened, it wouldn't even be deemed as bad. And number 2, like when you're 8 years straight doing the work almost daily, like my vibrational set point has permanently shifted.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your baseline is so much higher.
I want to give everyone like this piece of information because, like when you make raising your vibration a lifestyle and a way of life. It's not something that you do once upon a time in a program to then get better results. It's a way of life, man. This is why I talked about at the start of the podcast, like habit stacking, like what pockets of your time are you using to really code yourself and feel the feelings first and empower yourself so you're already energetically aligning to the millionaire. Yeah?
Yeah, agreed. Where are we going to see you next? Because, like, things are changing too rapidly. We're gonna have to do a round 3, a round 4, and every round is like, she's now making $10 million. She's now in the 50s. She's in the 100. I'm so keen to see the entire journey play out, because I think I met you at the right time as well, when you're kind of like getting back on the game and full on, and now seeing
like this is a bee's dick in comparison to what I'm going to be doing. Like,
exactly.
I'm playing small right now.
Yeah.
I'm like playing so small.
You're just getting started, so
man.
I'm just very excited to see where this leads. But what's the next step? By the end of the year, what's happening?
By the end of the year, I've obviously toured the States and I've made $1 million in 5 weeks, claiming that. I've also I've landed my contract with either Random House or Hay House, and they've locked me in for my first book, and I'm super excited. I'm like halfway writing that book. And I've launched my next big Manifest 10X charity event, and we're trying to get 1,000 people plus into this huge place at Gold Coast Casino, one of those event places. So they're the next big 3 things. Beyond that, I can't see. I'm definitely going to try and stay single because my pattern is to get into relationships. So
yeah, we're going to have to protect you and keep you single, cock blocking there.
I don't know how I'm going to be in a relationship anyway. I'm traveling so much. It's just crazy.
You're meant to accomplish so much shit that I'm just like, if she gets into a relationship, this is just going to put a stop to
worry,
everything.
I think my team is stopping it. But I'm open to like lush, yummy, delicious connections. You know?
Like fleeting connections. Yeah, I like it.
Dating.
That brings one more question I have as well. You know how we were talking about how most people live a 7 out of 10 life?
Yes.
The region beta paradox. So right now, your life in the scale to 1 to 10, taking into account everything, relationship, money, health, success, fulfillment, where are you and why?
Because I'm a high achiever, I'm not going to say 10. I'm going to say like, even though most days I wake up and be like, holy fuck, like how does it get even better than this universe? Show me I'm ready. And sometimes I have to calibrate to the bliss I feel in my body, of how lucky I feel, how banked I feel, how many opportunities are coming my way. It's like fucking insane, right?
Yeah.
Like, so even though it feels like a 10, I know there's an even better. So I'm going to be hard on myself and say 9.8.
9.8.
9.8. Yeah.
In every aspect, even including relationships,
the thing is,
everything.
relationship, like ultimately, do I want a family in 4 years' time? Do I want to be with the woman of my dreams? Yes, but right now it's not in alignment. So how can I qualify myself a 1 out of 10 when I don't want to be in that right now? So now my love life, my sex life, my dating life is a fucking 10 out of 10.
Yeah, because it's exactly what you want right now.
Last night was a 10 out of 10.
I've heard that's the word of the street.
10 out of 10. Money, 10 out of 10. Visibility, 10 out of 10. You know, doing enough that I'm stretched, that I don't feel bored, like 10 out of 10. Like, fuck, everything's, you know what? Actually, I lie. My health is probably a 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm working on my health. Yeah.
Nice.
It's the one area of my life that I haven't yet mastered. It's not horrible. It's just not fucking where I know it can be.
Better. Yeah. I like it. I like the honesty and knowing, because we always stuff to work, right? And the more you succeed in one area, the more one other might start suffering. Yeah. Right?
Well, my health's always never been a 10. It's just,
I feel like
it's like my inner child, little fat Alex, is like there's still a tiny bit of her that is holding on to some protective layer of fat.
Yeah.
And I know that's linked to my next level.
Yeah.
So instead of like dieting or doing this or anything, I'm loving myself into my dream body.
Yeah.
So like, yes, I'm going to the gym. Yes, I'm eating well, but it's the energetic, like it's the mirror work. It's like fucking looking at myself in the mirror and just like energetically shifting my perspective of my body, because I don't want to hate myself into my ripped body. I want to love myself into alignment, and that might be a slower progress, and I'm committed to it.
I want to ask you 2 more things to close.
Okay.
So last time I asked you this, but I want to see what different answer you have now for it. So What's the worst piece of advice you have ever received?
Oh, the worst piece of advice I've ever received has to be like hands down, let go of your mindset tools. Mindset is a form of control, and your path to your next level is to fully trust and surrender. We need to have a perfect balance between trust and surrender, healthy feminine, and fucking discipline. Right? So many people, too much trust and surrender, I mean, trust in the universe, or too much discipline, control, no trust.
Yes.
So when I let go of all the discipline, my life went. So it was the worst piece of advice I was ever given, and I followed it.
Best piece of advice in the past 3 months since I saw you recently.
Oh, I mean, I don't know who I get advice from. Best piece of advice.
And advice could even be like a conversation that you were having with someone. You're like, fuck, that's it.
Best piece of advice I've been given. I honestly still don't think that it's still the other one that I shared with you last time. There's nothing better than that. It's just keep swimming. And I think that resonates more, not so much with people where I am at. Like if you're a millionaire, okay, well, what's the next? That is like play a bigger. Well, actually, sorry, I'm going to rejig that. The best piece of advice that I've given myself and given to my client that made him just go, fuck, take my money, is you're a celebrity in your little fishy pond now. It's time to be a small fish in the bigger pond. And he just went, whoa. And that's the same advice that I've had to give myself to continue stepping the arena.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. You see, I knew there would be something new.
But just keep swimming is really good for those that are in like year 1, 2, 3, 4 and still feel like 100%. It's clunky. Like I was clunky until fucking year 4 or 5. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. It will get easier.
Yeah. This is my last request.
Okay.
I know you can rap.
Oh, no.
Do a closing rap for us. Because I've seen you do this and it blew my mind. I saw you on the event. I was BTS and I started filming you and I thought this is chill. She's just going to start talking to her, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be fine. And suddenly you just started spitting facts and rhyming. Like, I'm like, what's happening? This is awesome. I just felt the entire energy. We need something here. Give us a bit of a rap vibe booster, anything that it comes to mind. Let's do this.
I can't. I don't free ball.
Let's do this. This is anything.
Join me in the 5th dimension. Your fastest way, you gotta do some meditation. I can't do it, man.
Oh my God, that's great. Alex, I freaking love you. Where can people find you? Where can they learn about your services? How can people work with you?
At Alex Tripod on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. That's it. It's as simple as it gets. Just search me. I've got lots of free shit. Join my 21-day challenge. Join my 8-day challenge at Nelson helped me edit and create. Thank you, brother. That's it.
Links down below as always. If you enjoyed this episode, if you want us to continue to bring Alex for future rounds and any guest of this caliber, the best way to support the podcast is to leave a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on all social media platforms at The Creative Grid. I'm at Nelfilife, and we'll see you on the next episode. Good vibes for everyone.
Boom.